What's up? It's Viva John, and I just wanted to show you some of the updates at Airogel and actually maybe build a little game or two. So as you know, the Airogel editor using AI to help you build 3D games. It's got a whole physics engine. So some of the changes we made are the ability to add meshes. So I could come over here and add an object, a mesh. I went ahead and already added this asset. Oh, I guess it's not there. We will add a ghost. So a GLB, just a binary mesh format. Then we come over to our little mesh here, and we'll say this is the ghost, just to help us out. Select the mesh file, and now we get a little shape like that. It's got physics, it's got a bunch of things attached to it. So what we can do now is we can actually do some scripting. So let's come over here and let's say add a script to the ghost mesh that allows it to move with the keyboard controls. So Airogel has kind of an input system where you can use the WASD, the little arrow keys, and it gives you some inputs that you can use to control objects. So those are just basically something that's available on in your scripting engine. So the LLM kind of knows about that, and we'll see what we get out of that. The cool thing here, let's see, go over to the preview. We get the shape like this. Oh, we got to make our ghost a dynamic object so that it moves with the physics. So refresh this, and now you see you've got this little ghost character that falls. It's got some. So this, it's using the mesh basically as the physics body. So let's come over here, and hopefully our script is done. Let's see. I think I messed that one up. Here we go, ghost movement. I don't know why I got upset. So the scripts have this cool little editor here. We can pick the scripts. Our little red block is a spinning animation. You can see it's used by that. We can edit them. So very simple, basically an update math function that gets called once every frame refresh. We've got this move speed. We get the position of the object. We move it based on what's the input has been set. So that's again the WASD keys for this. And then we just set the position. So if I come over to the preview and I refresh to reload this, I can now, so I'm holding W and that's moving me back in this situation. S is moving this way, A is moving this way, and you can see that there is a physics environment. So I can push that ball right there. Pretty cool. Okay, so some of the other changes that have been made are the ability to add labels. So we could add something like a score label up here, and we can come up here and change the score label, and we'll change the text. So let's see, let's do add a variable, we'll call it score, it keeps track of the number. And then let's go ahead and add a script to the score label that uses its score variable and use the text to the current score and then the score. So we'll see if that runs. You can also like your answers if you're happy with that. That helps with the debugging and sort of figuring this out. So we'll get that script going. The next thing is that there's kind of a, let's see what this can go with. Unknown script, alright, so I've got to fix that. Here you can see that it's basically just saying get the score, set it to that. I think that works. So let's go run this. Not working. Just see if it's loaded. There we go, current score is 0. Okay, cool, that works. So if we come over here and refresh this, we see the label as it's loading, current score is 0. That makes sense because there is no score and I'm still moving my little ghost like that. Okay, now what I want to do, let me close this console here, refresh just to the, what I would like to do is to actually, every time the ghost collides with the blue ball, I'd like it to increment the score. So we'll come over here and we will add some variables. So we'll say the score label. This is a reference to our score label. Add the variable, and then let's do another. And this is the ghost, and this is also our reference, and this is going to be the ghost. Add the variable. Okay. So then let's go over here and say turn on collisions for the blue sphere when it collides with the ghost. It should increment the score label by 1. We'll see what we get out of that. So the idea is basically the collision system now is you kind of opt into it, so you get events, and then when you get a collision event, you get an ID of what you've hit, and so we want to compare the ID of what we hit to the ghost, because it's going to hit the platform, maybe some other objects in there. We don't want that to increment the score, and so we want the ghost. When a ghost hits the ball, then it's going to increment the score of the label. And let's just see. Okay. Let's see what we got here. And function on collision enter. Okay, so score label. I think that's fine. It doesn't have the check-in, so let me just pull this up. It's basically on there's an init function now that gets called once, and so we'll do blue ball init, register for collision, save script. So I gotta tweak the LLM to make sure it knows that, but let's just see, run this, and now you see, look at that. So the blue ball collision hits there, and then since I've got the keys, every time the ghost is hitting the ball, it's incrementing the score. That's pretty cool. So those are some of the changes that have been added, where we can add meshes, we can script the meshes, we can move the meshes around. We've got a label system, a score system. There's also images, so you can kind of build a full GUI. And I'm going to keep playing around with this. Hopefully you can try it out. app.aerogeledit.org, and be sure to like this video. Any comments about this, any questions, I'd be happy to answer those. Subscribe to the channel to get more updates, and I hope to see you soon. Thank you. Bye.